Roses are red, violets are blue. The Europa League returns next week, as does the Champions League. That's right, folks, back once again with another live prediction stream. This time we're taking a look at the old Champions League round of 16, first leg, boys and girls, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to this channel, where the heck have you been, boys and girls? Smash the old subscribe button and keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Champions League related, world football related. We're going to all hear under Warowski. Now, I am early, very, very early, so a lot of you guys might not be here for the live stream. You might be catching it on the late run, or whatever it is. But anyway, before we jump into the old Champions League, I've got some special VIP announcements. Oh my goodness, what a crazy few days for the channel, for the brand, for the platform. 3 new Patreons. Holy crap! Hold the flipping phone, boys and girls. Could not believe it. Earlier in the week, LG and Cal joined the old exclusive Patreon gang, boys and girls, with his contribution. So big shout out to LG and Cal. Thank you very much for becoming a Patreon, boys and girls. But then it doesn't flip and stop there. Yesterday, just yesterday, Aztec Marky B Mark joined the exclusive Patreon gang, boys and girls. Respect to your brother. Respect to your brother. And then finally, Constable 1976 also joined them exclusive Patreon bandwagon. Thank you so much. You do not know how much your contribution means to me, means to the platform. It does inspire me to create more content and bring this platform onto another level. And I want to let you all know, all the Patreons know, that the content and all that kind of good stuff will start flying through very, very, very soon. Hello, LG and Cow. Hello, LG and Cow. You started something this week. You started a little bit of a trickle of Patreons, so I do appreciate you. I appreciate a lot of you, and of course the guys live in the old chat. So, hello, Sonically, welcome to the gang. Carl Hill is here. Tystar123, Nitish Nipuane is here, and that's us. I think that's all of us. So let's get going and take a little look at it. Is Champions League, folks. It is the start. I should have the music in the background, but I'll probably get copyright stricken. But anyway. What we're going to do here, first and foremost, on the channel, I've done a DigiCast prediction show where she does all her own thing. She's not going to join us today. It's all about numbers today. We're going to take a look at the numbers. So let's take a look at how we got to this stage in the old Champions League before we get into the old predictions. So let's get going. So out of Group A, we saw PSG and Real Madrid coming through quite easily in the end. Look at the PSG, not even losing a game. Real Madrid picking up 1 defeat along the way. So those two powerhouses are in the hat, or they're already through to the last 16. Hello, Chris Mataran Dixon. What a name that is. No Code Drinker, welcome. And again, but much respect to the Patreon. That is Elgin Cow. If you did miss the start, we are welcoming Aztec Marky B Mark, new Patreon. Constable 1976, new Patreon. If you want to be in that exclusive gang, check out the old description down below, and there is a link. Or you can just type in patreon.com/Roverseas and you can help me out, help their platform out, help each other out. So that's Group A. Let's take a look at Group B now. It was Bayern, 100% record, 18 points out of 18. Spurs squeaking in there in the end. In fact, they did quite comfortably. They had a bit of a rough start, losing 2, getting spanked by Bayern as well along the way. So those two bad boys are into the knockout stages as well. Into Group C, it is Manchester City. Get back there. Manchester City came through without a defeat as well. That's there. I think if Pep wins this, all is forgiven and everybody will love him again. If he slips up here, it could be onto a sticky situation. Atalanta joins him through, getting through by 1 point ahead of Shakhtar Donetsk from the Ukraine. So those two bad boys are also through to the knockout phases. Joining them will be a Juventus. Again, no defeats for them so far. In the Champions League, Atlético Madrid joined them as well. In a tricky group, Bayer Leverkusen, we're giving them a little bit of food for thought, but ultimately at the end, quite comfortably for those two. Again, decent clubs, massive clubs across Europe. Into Group D is the champions, who had a tough start against Napoli, losing, I think, their first game. But they did come out overall as group winners ahead of Napoli. who finished second. Red Bull Salzburg, obviously, they were the party poopers, or everybody's favourite team. You know, Haaland and Minimoto and all those kind of players getting all the spotlight and all the headlines on ultimately getting themselves big moves to Liverpool. Minimoto getting himself there. Haaland going to Dortmund. I guess I don't think they can feature in the knockout phases. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Rovers to push for promotion. Kuthama Dixon. I would say ask me again in a couple of weeks. Maybe ask me at the end of Feb, and we could talk. So anyway, Liverpool and Napoli are through to the knockout phases as well. Joining them from Group F, it is Barcelona, again unbeaten in the old group stage. Difficult group, this one. Dortmund squeaking through as well, picking up 3 wins in the process. Inter Milan crashing through to the Europa League, so they'll be one of the favourites to win that competition. So they're through. Joining them will be Rasensport Leipzig. None of this Red Bull business. Rasensport Leipzig. They are through. 11 points on the board. Lyon is in there as well. This one was tight to the end. Zenit and Benfica crashing out. Benfica going through to the Europa League. And then is this the last one? It is Valencia going through 11 points. Chelsea going through 11 points as well. Ajax just squeezing out with 10 points. And I was just looking at some stats here. So those two bad boys go through. I was actually looking at the stats. The top 16 clubs in the Champions League. Not necessarily the 16 clubs that qualify, but the 16 best was actually Ajax were in there at 12th. They were the 12th best team performance-wise, statistically-wise, and that would have ousted who else? Who did that? So Atalanta were the 20th best, 20th highest performing. So you know what? So Ajax hard done by in the end. So those are your 16 clubs going through. So we're going to take a look at them one by one. That's what it's all about, boys and girls. That's what it's all about right there. The old Champions League trophy. So we're going to kick it all off with the first game, which is Borussia Dortmund up against PSG. So if you are watching, get your predictions in the comment section or the chat section right now. If you're watching a little bit later on, put them in down below. So what do we got going on in the chat before we get into that? Hello, Orthodox Celts. Don07 is here. Ty Star. They got rid of the cup tied rules, meaning players who joined Jan. Oh, wow, nice. So we'll get to see Haaland in all his glory. So Napoli, Nitish reckons Napoli will win. Miles Austin saying Barcelona will flop on this bad boy. I'm still nervous, but think City will get past. They've got a tough old game, man. I tell you that. It's a tough old game. So let's get going, folks, and take a little look. Get your predictions in for this one now. We're talking about Dortmund against PSG, just the first legs. So let's take a look at this at the moment. I'll give you the odds on this match and their chances of winning the tournament in a second. But anyway, Dortmund come into this on the back of a defeat in the old Bundesliga, losing 7-goal threat to Leverkusen last time around. So they're licking their wounds a little bit, but they're scoring goals for fun in Germany. They've scored 18 goals in the past 4 games heading into this. PSG look completely at leisure over in the domestic league, and I think they lost them once at home, so they're looking very, very airtight at home. Dortmund unbeaten at home in domestic football, so that's a tough place to go. So this is a tough old game for PSG. Dortmund come into this around about where are they? 3rd in the old Bundesliga. PSG top the table, 61 points on the board, comfortably dominating this bad boy. The bookmakers, they'll go with a what do they go with on this one? Let me try and find it. It is 9-5 for the victory for this game, just the first leg. 11-4 is the draw. 5-4 is the away win on this one. If you want to take a look at the odds for them to win the trophy outright, Dortmund are actually one of the underdogs, 50-1. PSG are actually 4th favourites, 7-1 to win the trophy as a whole. What you guys got in the chat? I'll take a little look at them in just a second. I want to see if I got any kick-ass numbers for you. I'm using the new sort of website here, and it's got too much data on it. It's got a bit of an overkill on the data. I'm trying to remember if these two have played before in recent times. I don't think so. But heading into this, their record, PSG obviously unbeaten in their group campaign. The only slip-up was a draw away to Real Madrid. On the flip side, Dortmund did lose the 2 games in the process, and they were both away. So they fancy the chances at home, and I think they'll do a number here. But what do you guys think in the chat? We're going to go with Nitish Nipain first with a 2-1 win for PSG. No Code Drinkers going with a 5-goal barnstormer in favour of PSG as well. So both of those going against the grain, I think. Elgin Cal's going with Dortmund. That's what I'm talking about. 3-1 win. The Patrons going with Dortmund with a 3-1 win. They have home advantage in second leg. Hopefully that will work in their favour slightly. Slaying the mighty Madrid won't be easy though. Orthodox Celts has gone with a 2-2 draw. Ty Star 1-2-3 has gone with a 3-2 win for PSG as well. Mikel Doom, welcome to the stream. He's going with a 2-2 draw. And Loudy Glindrone is going with a 3-1 win for PSG. So a lot of people back in PSG on this one. For me, I am actually, there we go. That's what I forgot to do. I'm actually going to go with a cheeky 2-2 draw. Same as Mikel Drum. Who else went with a 2-2 draw? Noko Drinker just went one more in favour of PSG to snatch it. So that's that one. What else have we got coming at you? We have also got this one. It is Atletico Madrid up against Liverpool. Yes, that's right. Difficult one for the champions, an unbeaten team out in the Premier League. So they've got to go to away days first, heading over to Spain. Heading into this though, Liverpool just the one defeat in their group campaign. That was to Napoli, day one of the old Champions League. Madrid actually kept it. Were a little bit rusty coming into the back end of this, losing to Juventus and also losing to Leverkusen in their final 3 games. So not too great indeed. Obviously Liverpool dominating it out in the Premier League, unbeaten, just the one blip that was a draw in the Premier League. Where about Atletico Madrid? Where are they in the table these days? They're actually fourth out in La Liga at the moment, 39 points on the board. And Getafe doing absolute bits for over in Spain at the moment. So Liverpool probably fancy their chances. They are champions, but heading into this, it's going to be a tough old boots going against these teams because it could be quite a stodgy affair. And I think Atletico Madrid will be a very defensive on this one. They don't want to lose it. They don't want to lose this game or this or their tie on the first leg. They want to be able to go into England to Liverpool with something to fight for. Maybe a draw at home, trying to scrape a win away at Anfield, or a small defeat at home. That's what my thoughts are on this bad boy. I'll give you the odds on this bad boy. So it's 11-5 for Atletico Madrid to win this leg. 23-10 is the draw. 5-4 is the away win for Liverpool. Liverpool actually second favourites for the Champions League behind somebody else. I'll tell you who it is in a minute. Atletico Madrid are middle of the road team, 33-1 to win the tournament as a whole. So that's these two. What are you guys thinking about that then? We have a little look and the old chat skis. We're going to just for them to bottle it in the second leg. Mickey N, I ain't here for predictions for the Champions League. West Brom ain't it in it. But congratulations. Thank you very much, Mickey, and I do appreciate that. LG and Cow, Dortmund will progress even if PSG do win the first leg. Dortmund will progress. They might bottle it. They might do it. Natish, New Payne's going with a 2-0 win for Liverpool. LG and Cow's going with a 2-2 draw on this one. No Code Drinker's going with a 3-0 win for Liverpool as well. Shane Lomax going 1-0 win for Atletico Madrid to nick it to be party poopers extraordinaire. Ty Star 1-2-3 is going with a 3-2 win for Atletico Madrid. Pinza Lama, what about today's match? Let's talk about today is so far. I can't talk about today. We've got to talk about this. I'm on the clock, buddy. I'm on the clock. Orthodox Celts with a 1-1 draw. Don 07 with a 2-0 win for Atletico Madrid. Miles Austin 2-0 win for Atletico Madrid as well. This year, Liverpool sleep well. Let's see. And Loudy Glendrome with a 1-1 draw. It seems to be a lot of you guys backing Atletico Madrid on the victory on this one. For me, I'm going to go with a cheeky, just the 1-0 win for Liverpool to snatch a bonus, Brucey bonus on this one, and then they'll feel comfortable in the second leg when that comes around. So just also, I don't know if I didn't tell you the dates of these games. Hang on a second. So these two that we've already covered taking place on Tuesday, the 18th of February. So all 8 games are spread across 2 weeks. It's a bit weird. That's how the Champions League, in theory. I guess it's so it's 2 games a day. I thought you could watch. I thought that the kickoff times were different. They might be. According to mine, they're not different. So anyway, moving on to the next one. Moving into. So I went with a cheeky 1-0 win. The next one we're talking about is Atalanta up against Valencia. This is moving into Wednesday, the 19th of February. So we're going to talk about these bad boys now. Let's have a little look at them. In all their glory. So, Atalanta coming out of Serie A, doing okay again. A slow start to the season. Valencia is probably having a bit of a wonky season out in La Liga. They're heading into this. Where are we? So, Atalanta actually had a nightmare start to the old Champions League, losing their first 3, losing to Zagreb 4-0 away. Losing to Shakhtar Donetsk 1-0, 2-1 at home. Getting spanked by Man City 5-1. drawing the next game against Manchester City. So they won the last 2 games and that point against Manchester City to get themselves through. Holy smokes, they're riding their luck. Terrible start to the season in Serie A, but they got better. Terrible start to the season in the Champions League, got better. Can they take it next? This is a very winnable game for them as well. They could get themselves into the quarterfinals here. I wouldn't back against it. Valencia on the flip side, again, okay start, beating Chelsea at home, losing to Ajax at home. Beating Chelsea away, beating or losing to Ajax at home, and then they went on an unbeaten run, drawing to Lille, drawing against Chelsea back in Spain. So Valencia have done it the hard way as well, but I do fancy Atalanta on this one. Heading into this though, Atalanta looked decent in domestic football. They did pick up a victory against 2-1 against Fiorentina last time out. Not too long ago, they put 7 past Torino away from home. Cost the man his job in the end. Valencia on the flip side did lose to Getafe last time out, which has pushed Getafe into 3rd spot. Valencia also picking up victories against Celta Vigo and Barcelona not too long ago as well. So 2 form teams locking horns at the right time. Could smell like a draw, this one. I would probably back a draw if it was in Spain. Heading into this, Valencia are 7th in La Liga. Atalanta are 4th. They're looking pretty savvy at the moment. Actually quite comfortably in 4th spot. We're going to go into the chat here. We're going to play a little bit catch up, I think. This year, Liverpool sleep. Kuzma and Dixon with a 2-1 win for Atletico Madrid. That was the previous one. LG and Cow says all kickoffs at 8. Thank you very much. He also says Atalanta 1, Valencia 0. Nitish Nupain with a 2-1 win for Atalanta as well. Shane Lomax has gone with a 3-0 win for Valencia. Laudi Glindren's gone with a 2-2 draw. So quality name. Noko Drinker with a 2-1 win for Atalanta as well. TriStar with a 1-2-3 with a 3-3 draw, 6-goal Barcelona. Son David with a 2-0 win for Valencia. Don07 says Atalanta are best on the road. Orthodox helps with a 2-1 win for Atalanta as well. Joseph Wescas says Atalanta to progress. Tavati Caprice, welcome to the stream with a 3-2 win for Atalanta on this one. So a lot of support there all around by you guys for Atalanta. I think I've gone with them as well. I'm going with a 2-0 win quite comfortably. You can't see it, but it's right there. A 2-0 win for Atalanta to snatch it, get themselves a comfortable lead, and when they bring it on the road back to Spain in a couple weeks' time. So that is that one. Moving on to the next one, it is Tottenham up against RB Leipzig. Now, if you haven't checked out the old Digicast, you should check it out just for the purpose of that scoreline right there. She's predicted her own things, and all the other games are quite reasonable scorelines, except for this one, and she went a little bit wild. So I might chuck a link in the description for that video if you want to check it out. If not, just pop over to the channel itself, look for the Digicast Champions League picks, and check that son of a gun. If she gets it right, I will shave my head off. Maybe even the eyebrows too. But chances are it ain't going to happen. So moving on to this one, it is Tottenham Hotspur against RB Leipzig. Obviously started under Pochettino, now under the mentorship of everybody's favourite Portuguese manager. It is Jose Mourinho. Let me just bring up the numbers on this one. Tottenham having one of those seasons, just like everybody else in the Premier League. RB Leipzig were top of the table in the Bundesliga, but they've now slipped down to 2nd after a couple of little sloppy results. First and foremost, let's talk about how we got to this situation. Tottenham actually had a shitty start to the old Champions League, drawing away to Olympiacos, getting spanked at their fancy squeaky clean new stadium by Bayern 7-2 in the end. However, after that, it all turned in their favour. 5-0 win for Spurs over Red Star. Beating Red Star 4-0 away, then beating Olympiacos 4-2. That was it. Job done. They did lose the final game against Bayern 3-1, but it got them over the line. They're now up against another free-scoring German side who have been a little bit conservative in the old Champions League, losing just the once. That was at home to Lyon, but they've also picked up. They've scored on average 2 goals a game. The only blip was that loss to Lyon into this, but they ended their campaign with 2 draws. So the ropey back end to it. Heading into this, Spurs on back-to-back wins in the league. Not talking about the Southampton game and all that kind of stuff, but they did beat Manchester City last time out in the league. They also beat Norwich as well, 2-1. Heading into this, Leipzig are actually on a 3-game winless run, drawing with Bayern, drawing with Mönchengladbach, and losing to Eintracht Frankfurt. Their last victory in the league was back in 18th of January. That was a 3-1 win against Union Berlin. Where are they in the tables? Just to give you some perspective on form, Leipzig are 2nd in the table, 1 point adrift of the leaders. Tottenham are down in 6th at the moment. Do they play this weekend? I can't remember because the old winter breaks all over the shop. What do you guys got for me in the chat? Well, we're going to kick it off with the Patreon master, one of the new patrons anyway. LG and Cal with a 2-0 win for Spurs. Nitish Fresh New Pain with a 1-1 draw. I don't think I gave you the odds on the last one. I'll give you those in a second. Defender Caprice with a 3-0 win for Leipzig. TriStar 1-2-3 with a 7-goal Barnstormer, 4-3 for Spurs. Shane Lomax has gone 3-0 for Leipzig. Noko Drinker with a 2-2 draw. Tharo with a 2-1 win for Spurs as well. I think Spurs will go through because the experience goes. LG, my favourite Portuguese manager is Nuno Espirito Santos. Save it done. Son David with a 7-goal thriller as well, going in favour of Spurs. Now let's backtrack up a little bit. Let's talk about the previous one. The odds, I didn't give it to you. It's 17-20 in favour of Atalanta as it stands. And we are live on Valentine's Day. 11-4 is the draw. 29-10 is the away win for Valencia. Now back into this game. 13-10 are the odds for Spurs to win this tie. 5-2 is the draw. 2-1 is the away win, which will be in favour of Leipzig. Now we'll talk about the grand scheme of things. Backtracking up against Atalanta, one of the long shots, 66-1 to win the trophy. Valencia on the flip side, even further out, 100-1 as well. Back onto these bad boys. Tottenham Hotspur are actually 25-1 to win it. Obviously, they were finalists last season. Leipzig, they're actually 33-1 to win it. When I look at this, you know what? You obviously Spurs. You wouldn't have expected Spurs to get to the final last season. I don't expect them to get there this time out. But imagine Leipzig getting to the final. Imagine Leipzig. That's one of the. They've got one of those. Like from a third party point of view, if a person non-involved in Bundesliga. Like 100%. Leipzig are like crazy. It's just come out of nowhere. But a lot of people in Germany can't stand Leipzig because they've been They've been sugar daddied up from the rankings from out of nowhere, rebranded into this. But they're doing well. They have not won the Bundesliga yet. They've been close on a couple of occasions, and they could do it this year. So this could be an absolutely exciting year. And this is a winnable game for Leipzig if they put their A game out there. So you guys have had your picks. I think I missed a couple here. Tottenham will play on Sunday. Thank you, TriStar, for the update. Orthodox Celts with a 1-win for Spurs. Prince Atang Jr. gone with a 2-2 draw on this one. I think I've gone with Spurs just to edge it. No, I went with a 2-2 draw. That's right. Me and Prince Atang Jr. on the same wavelength, brother. That's what I'm talking about. And also Noko Drinker on the same scoreline as well. So yeah, that's advantage Leipzig on this one. So a couple of draws to boot on this one so far, and a cheeky away win for Liverpool. Moving on to the next game, I think this one. When's this taking place? This is taking the week after. So we're going to do them all in a cluster right here. It is Chelsea against Bayern. This is a tough old boot. It's taking place on the 25th of February, which is a Tuesday. And as LG and Cal pointed out, all 8 o'clock kickoffs if you're in the UK. 9 o'clock if you're over in Central Europe. For me, who knows when the pissing time is. So Chelsea against Bayern. I'm already thinking Bayern 100%. Chelsea are wobbly. Their form in the Champions League is decent. They lost their first game, but they ended the group strongly with a win against Lille and an unbeaten run of 5 games. Obviously, Bayern phenomenal in their group, not dropping a point, winning 6 out of 6, including big away wins. That's the fact here. Against Red Star, 6-0. Against Tottenham, 7-2. And a squeaky bum win against Olympiacos, 3-2. Heading into this, Chelsea's run is a bit wobbly in the league. Drawing to Leicester, drawing to Arsenal, losing to Newcastle. Their last victory was the 11th of January against Burnley. Them six-fingered freakazoids, Burnley. In fact, it's only one win in the past 5 for them heading into this. Bayern also Bayern are actually on pretty good form. They did draw at home to Leipzig, but they've been on an unbeaten run for a while since their last defeat back in 7th of December. It was the Mönchengladbach 2-1 win. My boys, respect to those bad boys. So coming into this though, Bayern top the table out in Germany, leading the way by 1 point over Leipzig. We just talked about them. Chelsea are actually in 4th at the moment. 8 points clear, or 8 points adrift of Leicester in 3rd. They're only a couple points clear of Sheffield United, who are breathing down their necks. Chelsea do have a game in hand though, heading into this. I really need to look at this website a little bit more and kind of highlight areas because there's so much numbers on here. It's a bit overkill. Let's take a look at the odds before I forget about it. 11-4 is the odds for Chelsea on victory. 30-5 is the draw. 10-11 on is Bayern victory. Let's take a look at the odds on who's going to be used the favourite to win this one. The tournament as itself. Chelsea 40-1. Bayern are actually 5th favourites at 7-1. we've already seen two of the better favourites. That's Liverpool and PSG. So we're going to start with Happy Valentine's Day, and much respect, LG and Cow. I tell you, you put a smile on my face, big time. Miles Austin says, "Boo." LG and Cow's going with a 4-1 win for Bayern. Natish Nupain with a 3-1 win for Bayern. Lewandowski with a hat-trick. Devante Caprice with a 5-goal Barnstormer, 3-2 in favour of Bayern. Oko Drinkers going with Bayern as well. 3-1 in the end. Chelsea getting bent over. Shane Lomax with a 5-0 win for Chelsea. Look at that. Support for the British team right there. Ty Star with a 1-2-3. Going with a 6-goal Barnstormer, 4-2 win for Bayern. Chelsea can't stand any shit. They can't. Bayern massacre coming to London. Ooh, brutal words. Orthodox Celts with a 3-2 win for Bayern as well. Joseph Wesenger with a 4-1 win for Bayern as well. Son David with Chelsea victory, 2-1 in the end. Ethan Hawkins with a 4-2 win for Bayern. And Prince Atang Jr. is going with a 3-1 or a 2-0 win for Bayern as well. I've got to get them I've got to get them big. I've got to get the old logos big. There we go. Bish bash bosh. The majority, I think a couple of you guys went with Chelsea on this one. I'm also going with a 3-1 win. Just like Prince of Tank Jr., who's got my notes, who's got the spreadsheet right here, and he's reading them just ahead of me in time. So he's on the same wavelength. 3-1 win for Bayern, comfortably in the end. Next up, we have Napoli against Barcelona, also taking place on this same day, which was, what was it? Was it the 19th? It's the 25th. 25th of February, heading into this first leg is over in, over in Italy. I thought, whoa, what happened there with me old graphics? So heading into this, Napoli against Barcelona. Obviously, Barcelona are second currently in La Liga. Napoli are on free fall under Gattuso. Not a big fan of that appointment. I thought that was a bad. He's a quality player. Loved him. Always loved Gattuso as a player. He's not. I think he had his dream job, and that dream job was AC Milan. I think he needs to go away and manage somewhere else. Not a big juggernaut like this, because the passion's not there. The connection, the vibe is not there for Gattuso at Napoli. But you watch him now win this game. So, yeah, Napoli actually came through unbeaten in their group stages, picking up draws against Liverpool away, drawing Salzburg at home, and also drawing against Genk away. Barcelona also coming into this with a couple of draws in their group stages, but also without a defeat, drawing to Dortmund at the first game, and also drawing to Slavia Prague at home at the Camp Nou. Heading into this, the league form, like I said, for Gattuso's not having the best of times. Did lose against Lecce last time with 5-goal thriller at home, but they did pick up victories against Sampdoria and Juventus. Not too shabby there, but before that they lost the next 3 games against Inter Milan, Lazio and Fiorentina. So I just don't think he's a perfect fit. I like Napoli. Napoli's one of those traditional old school clubs, and I like seeing them competing for the big titles. Obviously, they didn't upset the apple cart with Juventus. Barcelona come into this on the back of 2 wins. Again, new manager. Again, I think it's just. I don't know if that's going to work out in the end long term. So I think there's a bit of a drought of decent managers that are characters out there. Obviously, Klopp's a fantastic character. Guardiola's a character. Who else is it? Mourinho's still a character. I think the Ajax manager, Erik Den Stegen or whatever his name is, Erik Den Hart, whatever his name is, the Ajax manager. He's one of the ones that the future. But then there's a couple of other ones, Ancelotti perhaps, but there's not many characters out there that would create a charisma or ethos or aura about clubs. Gattuso lacks it, especially at Napoli, and the fella in Barcelona not too. He might have the brain of the Barcelona, but he needs the persona, he needs the personality. Anyway, sorry, I just went on a bit of a tangent. Napoli are in actually 11th in the table at the moment. Barcelona are second. Rambled on that one a little bit too long. The bookmakers odds 23-10 for Napoli for the victory. 30-5 is the draw. 21-10 is the away win for Barcelona. Barcelona actually come into this third favourite, 6-1 for the title. Napoli are long shots, 80-1. Erik ten Hag is the manager. Thank you very much for the update. So Napoli long shots are actually the third worst backed team in the Champions League at the moment. So you guys got in your pickaroos at the chat schemes. We're going to start with a couple of little late ones. Who was the last? On the last one, Prince of Tank. So Ethan Hawkins is going with a 0-0 draw. I think on this one, Natish Nupain with a 1-1 draw. Noko Drinker with a 2-0 win for Barcelona. So Ethan Hawkins is a 0-0 on that one. Shane Lomax with a 2-1 win for Barca. Elgin Cal's also going with the same scoreline as well. Orthodox Celts with a 3-1 win for Barcelona. TriStar 1-2-3 with a 2-1 win for Napoli. British Riz Ratish has gone with a 2-1 win for Barcelona as well. Son David has gone with a 2-0 win for Barcelona. Napoli beat Inter Milan in the Italian Cup. I've kept a wee glance on the old the cup games for a lot of the lot of the teams, but yeah, it's been hard. Hello, Liverpool Rules. Welcome to the stream. Both teams' form is poor. I go for the Barca win or a draw. So the majority of you guys going with the Barcelona win and the first leg anyway, and I'm going to go the same with a 2-1 win in the end. It's not over, though. You never know. You never know on this one. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Barcelona. Moving on to the next one. It was the penultimate one. It is Real Madrid up against LG and Cow's boys, Manchester City. So let's take a look at these bad boys in all their glory. That's right. So Manchester City, obviously second in the table at the moment in the Premier League. Coming into this, Manchester City unbeaten in the Champions League phase. Fantastic. They actually scored 10 goals in the first 3 games, conceding just the one. They had a little bit of a blip in the middle of the road. And when I say a blip, I'm just talking a couple of drop points here and there. But they were already 1 foot in the next round after those first 3 games, drawing Atalanta and also drawing at Shakhtar. They ended up their campaign with a 4-1 away win against Zagreb. Meanwhile, Real Madrid started their group phase wonky with a 3-0 loss to PSG. They also drew 2-2 at the Bernabeu against Bruges, which actually put them on the back burners, and then people were doubting them at that point, but they did pick up a cheeky 1-0 away against Galatasaray, and you know what, it's never easy to win over in Turkey. Heading into the domestic league though, Madrid are ticking away, looking good. 5 wins on the spin, picking up wins against Getafe. That's not easy these days. Sevilla, Valladolid, Atletico Madrid and Osasuna last time out. Man City on the flip side, realistically their form is not bad on the grand scheme of things, just losing to Tottenham in the past 6 or 7 games. They did have victories against Sheffield United, Villa, Everton and Sheffield United again, also picking up a sloppy draw against Crystal Palace. So realistically that form is not horrendous for Manchester City. It's just, when you put it in perspective against Liverpool's form, it's just not good enough. For the sake of the matter. Real Madrid obviously top of the table out in La Liga. Manchester City are second in this one. So this has the makings of probably the tie of the round, I would say. Obviously, Manchester City are favourites to win this tournament overall 4-1. Real Madrid are actually 14-1. So if you were to back them, if you were a gambling man, I would put a couple of quid on Real Madrid to win the tournament as a whole. If they get past Manchester City, this is kind of like a final, really. If they get past the favourites, they're going to be motoring through and possibly going to be knocking through into the next round, deep into the tournament. Bookmakers odds on this one: 6-4 for the home win on this one, 6-4 for the away win for Manchester City, 14-5 for the draw. So very, the bookies can't separate the two sides. It is very, especially this first leg. So we're going to kick it all off with what are we going to kick it all off? We're going to kick it off. LG and Cow with a 2-1 win for Manchester City. Shane Lomax has gone with a 2-2 draw. Nitish New Payne with a 2-1 win for City as well. Noko Drinkers with a 1-1 draw. Ty Star saying a 3-0 win for Madrid until they figure out how to score, referring to Tottenham Man City. Orthodox Sales with a 2-1 win for Real Madrid as well. Prince Atang with a 3-2 win for the home team, it looks like, on this one. Son David with a 2-2 draw. Any more for the whatever they say for the house? It's a tough old one, this one. I can't remember. I think I might have went with a Real Madrid victory on this one, which doesn't mean end of. I think Manchester City will win this game when they return in the second leg. Again, this one takes place on a different day. This takes place on the where is it? The 26th of February. So this is one of the final set of 2 games for the first legs. I'm going to go with a cheeky 3-2 win, just a pinch in favour of Real Madrid. 2 away goals for Manchester City is massive. They'll just need a 1-0 win or a win, I think. 2-0 win, 2-1 win would do enough for Manchester City, but I think they'll win quite comfortably in the second leg. So anyway, that's that one. Let's move on to the final game. It is Olympique Lyon up against Juventus, again taking place on the 26th of February. It's the final game of the first legs. We'll do this all again probably the day after this, whenever that. So the 27th of Feb, we'll come back around for the second legs. So heading into this, Lyon, very ropey qualifying campaign stages, losing 2, actually just winning 1 of the last 4 to get themselves through. Out in group, was it Group G? Question mark. Was it Group G? I don't want to give you bad gen. Don't want to give you bad gen on this one. It was Group G. Yes, so they squeezed through on this one. Meanwhile, Juventus obviously flew through their group, unbeaten, just dropping the first points, a couple of points against Atletico Madrid, a 2-2 draw. After that, it was plain sailing, and they were keeping quite a stern, strong defence, only conceding a couple of goals in the final 5 games against Lokomotiv Moscow to boot. Heading into this, their domestic form at the moment is wobbly, losing 2 of the past 3, and that includes a defeat against Verona and also a defeat against Napoli. We talked about that earlier. Lyon, though, on the flip side, not having the greatest seasons over in France, losing 2 at the past 7, losing against Rennes, losing against Nice, and losing against PSG. Also picking up a couple of draws in that cluster as well. So not great for Lyon heading into this. They're actually in the table. They currently find themselves 9th over in La France. Juventus are in 2nd spot at the moment. We got a couple of picks. Do we have any picks on this one? Imagine Monday comes in there squeaky clean with a 3-2 win for Real Madrid. LG Cal's gone with a 3-1 win for Juventus. Noco Drinker says Lyon made it to the round of 16 completely. They did, brother. They did. They squeezed in there right at the snatch. To make it through. TriStar's gone with a 4-1 win for Juventus, Dybala score and Ronaldo 2. LG Cal says a Ronaldo hat-trick on this one. Orthodox Celts with a 2-2 draw. Son David with a 3-1 win for Juventus as well. I'll tell you the odds in a second on this one. Prince of Tang's gone with a 2-0 or a 3-0 win in favour of Juventus. Yeah, they are the long shots. 50-4 for the victory is Lyon. 30-5 is the draw. 3-4 on is Juventus. Red hot favourites. Juve are actually 6th favourites for the title. 10-1 to win it. And Lyon are the 100% underdogs. 250-1 to win the tournament as it stands. A couple of late ones in there. Amarji Monday with Olympique Lyons. He's going with Lyons on this one. Noka Drug with a 4-1 win for Juventus. For me, I'm actually... Whoa. I forgot to bring them up on the old big screen. It's a 3-1 win for Juve, boys and girls. That is that. So that game will take place on the 26th of February. And we're going to do this all over again on the 27th. We'll bear in mind your predictions. Get them in the comment section down below. I do appreciate Imagine Monday squeaking in there with a 3-1 win for Juventus. But yeah, I do appreciate the live chat. It's great. It does give me a bit of a boost. But also get the predictions in the comment section down below so we can plaster them on the opening screen next week. And then we'll see how you guys got on, how I got on, and then we'll kick it on forward to the second legs, boys and girls. Going to do this again. I'm shooting for a live show tomorrow on a Saturday. Don't know when, for the Europa League. If technology and people don't allow it, then it'll be a recorded show. So I want to do live for the Europa Leagues, but we'll have to wait and see. So stand by for that bad boy. Make sure you check out the old the DigiCast predictions. Before we go as well, just wanna bring this bad boy up. Get your predictions down below. If you want to become exclusive VIP gangs to the Blackburn Overseas brand, we are looking for Patreons, just like LG and Cow, just like Aztec Marky V Mark, just like Constable 1976. If you want to become Patrons, boys and girls, that's the link right there. There is a link in the description down below. Also, check out my Twitter. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 followers on that bad boy. It's a number I've been looking at for years. And then also, if you're new, smash the old subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Champions League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related, all here under one Rooski. Bang the thumbs up as well. Get this video up there, and then we'll do it all again in a couple weeks' time. Again, thank you so much for the live show. I've got to get going. I've got to go to work now. Yes, goodness gracious me. And then it is a full weekend of football. Premier League is returning, or at least a little bit. Championship, of course, the domestic leagues across Europe. We'll look forward to all that kind of good stuff, and we'll be back again with weekly predictions in the thing. You will do love for Europe. I will. Sunday, I will hope to be live tomorrow. It will be a more presentable time, around about 9 o'clock over in UK, Europe. So not early. I just had to do it now because I'm gone for the next 8 hours. So anyway, thanks again for watching. I do appreciate that. I'm looking forward to the return of the Champions League, and I'm hoping we'll get some good games to look forward to and all that kind of good stuff. So check it all out. Until then, I'm going to get out of here. Smack the subscribe. I'm bouncing now. See you tomorrow, hopefully. Yes, thank you once again to all the new exclusive Patreon gangs to the club. And I'll see everybody, all of yous, hopefully, for the Europa League tomorrow. And then next week, we'll do some more live shows. Until then, I'm getting out of it. Let me get out of this. There we go. And I'll see you. Happy Valentine's Day. Roses are red, violets are blue. Blackburn Rovers are going to score 2 and Charlton. I don't know. Whatever. I'm out.